You see it everywhere, people hunched over their cell phones. It's the leading cause of the new malady called tech neck. Most people look down at their cell phones like this. You might not realize your head weighs as much as a 10-pound bowling ball. And in this position, your head can feel like 40 pounds, putting tremendous pressure on your upper neck and lower back.
These are the biggest culprit. Kids are getting them at a younger and younger age.
New Jersey chiropractor Brian Wallace says he's seeing a lot of patients with unbearable neck pains. One of them is 27-year-old Brandon Brigg, who spends 8 hours a day hunched over his computer for work. An x-ray of Brandon's neck revealed a textbook case of tech neck.
This is what normal looks like. Okay, in the normal we can see this nice forward arching curve. In your neck, do we see any curve at all?
No.
There's been a total loss of that neck curve, and that is what's causing your pain.
It's a little scary.
Brandon was given a simple exercise to do at home.
Put your hands behind your head. Okay, open your elbows as wide as you can and look up towards the ceiling.
Correct posture is key.
Head up, shoulders back, elbows up and tucked into your side, hands up at eye level.
Same goes when standing. So follow the advice of those who know. Keep your head up.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. اليوم عندنا تجربة عن خطورة استخدام الجوال وهو يشحن. عندنا جهاز يستشعر الكهرباء، هذا هو زي القلم. الحين هنا فيه كهرباء، التوصيلة شغالة، بوريكم. إذا أعطانا النور معناته فيه كهرباء. فالحين بنشبك الشاحن، ينتقل الكهرباء هنا، ينتقل في السلك كامل حق الشاحن. هنا هذه الأجهزة ما تشحن، ما تولع اللمبة، ما تولع اللمبة. هنا نشبك الشاحن، الآن ولعت اللمبة، معناته انتقل الكهرب له. خطورته على اللي يستخدمه، شوفوا في جسمه ينتقل الكهرب، هذا في يده حتى إلى يده الثانية. فالحذر يا أخوان، وجزاكم الله خير.
شوف الجوال، الرجال مشغول بالجوال. هذا اللي سلمه. هذا الجوال، انتبهوا من الجوال يا شباب، عند بقالة البركة.
Our children lost their lives because of the reckless actions of Thomas Croker. On the 10th of August 2016, Mr. Croker made the decision to change his music on his phone whilst driving a lorry at 50 miles per hour. His lorry hit a queue of stationary traffic and took the lives of Tracy, Ethan, Josh and my daughter Amy. He was so distracted, he made no attempt to slow down. Anyone using a mobile whilst driving is guilty of dangerous driving. We urge you to make a personal commitment to stop using mobile phones whilst driving and make our roads safer for everyone.
أول شيء نقول الحمد لله على سلامة الركاب اللي كانوا في الحادث البليغ. صار باختصار أنه ورد بلاغ لنا عن حادث تدهور مركبة على الشارع العابر. اتجه الإسعاف، وصل هناك، طبعا كشفوا عن الرجال، الحمد لله حالته بسيطة. كذلك وصلت دورية شرطة ووقفت وين؟ خلف مركبة الإسعاف. ليش؟ عشان تأمن المكان. اللي صار أنه للأسف أن أحد الجمهور، يعني من الناس اللي كانوا يمشون في هذا الشارع اللي صاير فيه الحادث، شخص عنده نيسان أبيض، فكان متجه بسرعة عالية، فللأسف اصطدم بدورية الشرطة. كان اصطدام عنيف. الحمد لله أن أفراد الشرطة ما كانوا في الدورية، والشخص بعد اللي كان يسوق الحمد لله حالته كانت متوسطة. فيا جماعة الخير، يوم بتسوقون السيارة انتبهوا، خلوا التلفون على صوب، تشوفوا الشارع قدامكم. ترى احنا والله نشوف أشياء انتم ما تشوفونها. عندك أهل يتريونك في البيت، بسيط تسويه يمكن في السيارة تنشغل بالتلفون، نتيجته أنك أنت تفقد حياتك أو تسبب في موت شخص بريء. فيا جماعة الخير انتبهوا.
It seems that since the arrival of the smartphone in 2007, we've seen the arrival of a new problem, a uniquely 21st century problem. Connected. People have become more disconnected, losing the art of conversation and real human interaction. The problem? Ignoring the person in front of you in favour of your smartphone. Just about everyone does it. But if this behaviour has become such a big issue, why weren't we talking about it? Well, probably because there wasn't a word for it. Until now.
I don't know if you know what fubbing is.
Is that fubbing? Is fubbing a term you may not have heard of? Fubbing.
Okay, stop. Take a step back. Where do words like this even come from? Where did this one come from? Well, on an otherwise unremarkable day in May 2012, a group of people gathered at the University of Sydney, Australia. Amongst the group was a lexicologist, a phonetician, a debating champion, a poet, several authors, and a cruciverbalist. That's a professional crossword maker. Their mission was to create a word that would get people to put their phones down and get talking to each other again. And so, with a room full of brilliant minds, the search for a word to describe ignoring others in favour of your phone began.
Nubbing, foffing, frolling, igging, exing,
nothering,
bitting,
telly-snub, and then fubbing. And he's a fubber, and would you stop fubbing me?
The word was released into the wild the following day, seeded into social conversations, and championed by a new movement known simply as Stop Fubbing. From its country of origin it spread, first through the English-speaking world, then Brazil, and right through South and Central America. Europe was next, followed by Southeast and Central Asia. Within a year, over 180 countries were using it.
Fubbing, the war against antisocial phone use.
Why the Stop Fubbing campaign is going viral.
Fubbing can be fatal.
Are you a fubber? The backlash against fubbing.
Ignoring the person in front of you in favour of your phone was now a behaviour with a name, and a behaviour being questioned right around the globe, all because of a single in a university hall at the bottom of the world. Language is always changing.
We are drowning in information and starving for inspiration. and that's coming for three reasons. There's too much volume of data, there's too much velocity, and there's too much complexity. So we are perceiving more information in a given day than someone in the Middle Ages read or experienced in an entire lifetime. The Sunday edition of the New York Times contains more words in it than a medieval monk living in Ireland read in his entire 6 decades of practice. These days we check our phones 700 times a day. There are 8 billion checks on our phones in America every single 24 hours. So that's the volume and the velocity. The complexity is that we truly don't know whether to shit or go blind these days. Absolute truth, epistemic certainty, meaning you can trust the person who's saying the thing, is out the window. We're now at the place where AI and CGI can put words in anybody's mouth saying anything. And so the era of fake news is not so much that, it's that we have literally lost our anchor points. And so here we are drowning in information, but at the same time we're starving for inspiration. We crave meaning. We crave the things that make us feel that make us come alive, that let us feel that we know why we're here and what matters. And Tim Leary, 50 years ago, The Summer of Love, he famously said, in fact it was kind of infamously said, it led Richard Nixon to make him the most wanted man in North America. He said, tune in, turn on, drop out. And I think Leary had it exactly backwards, because that message doesn't serve us anymore. But what if we tune out? What if we check out of the news cycle, stop listening to the constant noise? What if instead of turning on, we turn off? Turn off our digital devices, turn off our reminders and notifications. And instead of dropping out, what if we drop in? What if we drop into our bodies, into our hearts, into our minds, into our relationships, into our families, into our work, into our communities, into our commitments? So Howard Thurman, who was a civil rights activist, famously said once, he said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And go and do that. Because what the world needs is more of us to come alive.